Hello impressive human beings and welcome to a new episode on Live Your Impressivity TV show. I wonder, how many journals do you have? Because I am a really big lover of journaling and of anything that has to do with writing. Therefore, I kind of go crazy when it comes to journals and notebooks and pretty agendas. So today I wanted to introduce you with my journals. Yes, I have 5 types of journals that I keep next to me, and that is not included with my agenda. This is my daily agenda where I put down my to-do list for every day and my schedule, and I couldn't really work without my agenda. I couldn't function, and I'm so grateful for having an agenda, but it's really coming down to these 5 types of journals that are so crucial for any avid journaler. So if you are also a fan of journaling like me, then I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. How many journals do you have and how do you use them? And don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and the notifications bell so that you hear about all the new content that I share with you every week on Tuesdays. So stay tuned and keep watching because I'm going to tell you what 5 journals you need in your life. Okay, so the first one, and probably the one that I use the most, is my gratitude journal, which sometimes it becomes my personal journal when I feel like writing more about gratitude and also some other emotions that are going on in my mind and through my soul. So I use this journal the most because this is the place where I start writing about what is bothering me, where I start writing about making sense of my emotions and my thoughts. But most frequently I use it as my gratitude journal, which is almost daily, and I usually like to write in the evenings when I look at what I'm grateful for during my day. And I also do this in the mornings if I get a few minutes after my meditation in the morning, and I just write down very short list of things that I'm grateful for, people, situations, everything that really feels I want to put down onto paper in that morning. So this is my gratitude journal and I just love it. It's a very, very nice one, and this is why I love keeping it next to my bed. Okay, so the next journal might seem a little bit woo-woo for you, and perhaps you don't necessarily want one of these, but I guarantee that it's going to change your life because it's going to drive you more into self-awareness and getting to know yourself a lot better. So this is what I like to call my dreams journal, because I like writing down whenever I can remember what I dreamt about in the previous night. And you know, it has been proven that our dreams show to us that our subconscious has some really important messages for us, and during our dreams we tend to bring into our consciousness the things that we need to hear. Sometimes there are messages, sometimes they come from our inner intuition, our inner world, our inner voice. Some other times they are just some guidance that perhaps is trying to get to us from our highest self or from any other form of divine power that you believe in. But it's really important to make sense of your dreams. And let's face it, sometimes it's just a lot of fun to remember the dreams that you had in the previous night and to see if maybe they will come true. Okay, my next journal is really very important because it's very good when you start setting goals. Now, this is something that you can use perhaps at the beginning of the year, and you can set your goals for the entire year. This one in particular has some really beautiful layouts for every month and for really setting your goals and your values and your mission and your vision so that you can really stay on track during the year. But it's also something that you can use at the beginning of the month, and you can check in with your goals, and then at the end of the month you can just go back and see if you have accomplished your goals and just evaluate where you are at. And honestly, just having this journal and writing in it every month is really going to remind you of your goals, of what is really important for you. And I think it's really great because you can find here some suggestions of how you can improve your well-being as well, and also some tips on how to bring a new habit or a new hobby into your life every once in a while. So I really love having a goals journal because it really supports my journey and it just brings me back on track every time when I just sleep away. And if you'd like to know more about how you can use a goals journal and how you can set up impressive goals and make sure that you follow through, then you can check out my masterclass that I have over here. Another journal that I have and that I really love using every month, and it has completely changed my life, especially at the beginning when I really wanted to heal my relationship with money and to understand better about my savings and about planning my budget, is this budget planner. And honestly, this has been a lifesaver because it has been the way to look at where I spend my money, how I can get more savings, how I can be more conscious about my money and more aware about things like investments and planning for bigger things that I want to spend on. So this is really set up in a very nice and easy to use way because it has an overview, monthly income, and the expenses that you have monthly, so you can keep track of all the bills that you need to pay, all the things that you buy throughout the month, because this way you might notice that, hey, I'm actually spending a lot of money on coffee, or hey, I'm traveling quite a lot with my Uber, so I might look at that. If I want to save some money, then I can look at other ways in which I can put money aside and replace some of those things that I tend to spend too much on. So honestly, a budget planner is a magical tool in your toolkit. So go get this type of journal, and if you don't have or you can't find one of these, you can just start tracking your expenses every month and then plan for your budget. Make sure that you also keep track of the bills that you are paying, and you also have here at the end a section where you can put your bills. You can keep your bills, or you can keep any receipts that you might need, or any vouchers, any gift cards. And it's really beautiful because then you can just have this as your personal go-to anytime that you want to have a look at something that doesn't make sense in your bank account. So make sure that you get on well with your finances and get one of these budget planners because it is magical. The fifth journal that I have, and this is probably the notebook that I see most often because I have it on my desk all the time next to my agenda that I have with my daily schedule. This notebook is where I just get creative. This is my creativity journal. This is where I just put down ideas, where I start planning things for my business, or just where I write down some quotes from books that I'm reading, perhaps just writing down some things that I need to do, or people that I need to call, or something that I need to plan that I haven't really figured out when I'm going to do it, but I really need to make sure that I'm going to remember it. So when that happens, I just write it down in this journal, and I always keep it with me. I always have it in sight so that everything that comes to my mind, every single idea, doesn't leave my mind without getting onto paper. So make sure that you have one of these journals really next to you at any moment, so that whenever creativity hits, it's important that you make sure it doesn't leave without you making sure that it lands on paper. So a creativity journal, especially if you are in any field of work that requires you to be creative, and even if you're not required to be creative, you can always find ways to improve your business or your work or something in your life. You never know, it's just a matter of keeping your creativity muscle and in practicing whatever feels that might inspire you. It can be maybe a song that you want to look for, it can be a workout that you want to try out, any type of ideas. You just need to make sure that you have one journal that is always close to you so you can jot down your ideas, and then you can just have this go-to place where you can find anything that you might need to go back to. So here it is. These are my 5 journals that I love using, and even if I use most of them frequently, and some others I just come back to on a monthly basis. It's really important to know that I have these important spaces where I can just put down ideas, or I can look at my budget, or I can set down goals. It's really great. And let's not forget my agenda, because yes, I could be using a digital calendar or not just put down things in my phone, but I just don't work like that. I love journals, I have so many of them, and of course I need to have an agenda where I write down everything that I need to do on a daily basis so that I don't forget. If it's not in the agenda, then it's not happening. So I would love to hear from you if you are also a fan of journaling. What is your groove? What are you writing on? What are your journals? How do they look? And what makes you start writing? Sending you lots of love, and I'll see you next week. Until then, stay impressive.